So Julie, I just pulled it. You put it on there.
So sorry.
I had an old.
When do you want to start it?
ASAP.
Did you find the?
Yes. It's the Cuba one in Zach Road.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's meeting. It looks like we're going to have some pretty interesting speakers tonight. I can't wait. If you are able, would you please stand with me and say the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Item number 4 is adoption of our agenda. If I could have a motion to adopt tonight's agenda
I'll make the motion to adopt tonight's agenda.
and a second.
I'll second
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Number 5 is call to the public. We have lots of public here, but is anyone speaking during this time? Cheyenne, do we have any cards? Okay. All right, we're going to move on along then to our information and discussion items. First up is the superintendent report, Ms. Daniels.
So as you can see, we have a big crowd here, and part of our superintendent's report every month is that we hear from a different department or school. And instead of giving some of the district-wide updates first, I'd like to defer to them and let them go first, since they have lots of cute little kiddos here with them and things like that. So Miss Brandy, would you like to introduce your crowd?
All right. So good evening. Tonight is Territorial's night to highlight all the fun things we do at Territorial. Normally you hear from me with a boring presentation of a PowerPoint. However, I wanted you to hear the real magic that happens at Territorial. So we have our Paw Patrol. They're going to introduce themselves and talk about some of their responsibilities with Paw Patrol. And then we have our teachers who are going to talk. I'm going to move this for right now, just so it's out of the way. And then we have our teachers and they're going to highlight what they do at each grade level. So first I'm going to have you guys introduce yourself.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm Lily.
Lily who?
Lily Thomas.
Oh, I like that last name. Go ahead, Lily.
I'm William Kelly. I'm Josie Freno. I'm Peyton Duffy. And I'm Ritz Swope.
And what do you guys represent?
Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol. Who wants to tell me what Paw Patrol does? Okay, go Lily.
Paw Patrol helps people out and bring them to the classroom if they're scared.
That's right. Are you guys kindergarten, first or second graders?
Second graders.
Second graders. So are you the leadership?
Yes.
Yes. And so what are the signs you guys are holding?
These are we do
Positive action.
positive actions for the month, and we have a few of them this month, and all of us are holding signs that tell what these ones are.
That we're working on. So do you guys want to go down? Everett, let's start with you and you can tell them what yours is.
Like cooperation, working with others to get a job done, work together, be a team player. Mine is honesty, tell the truth, don't lie, be truthful to others and yourself, be a person that others can trust. Mine is respect, be kind, act in a way that shows you care. Don't hit or hurt people, respect others and yourself. You can show respect by how you feel about someone and how you treat them. Tolerance, respect others for what makes you different from them. Responsibility, be prepared, do what you are supposed to do, always do your best, be accountable, be responsible in your words and actions.
So who can tell me, what are some of your responsibilities? We heard walk friends to class. What else?
We take the kindergarten lunch breaks to their classroom. Do the Pledge of Allegiance in the morning.
And
we
do you
do the
just do
one.
that in the classroom or how do you do that?
We do it in the office, so the whole, on the speaker, so the whole school can hear.
That's right. And what's your favorite part about being a Paw Patrol?
Helping all the other kids. Taking them to the class.
Taking them to their classrooms. And do you sometimes get to see your old teachers?
Yeah.
And is that one of your favorite parts too?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Do you guys have anything else you want to share?
All right, okay, before you leave, let's ask everyone if they have any questions. Anyone?
You guys are awesome. Thanks for coming to see us today.
Thank you. All right,
right,
thank you guys.
You guys can sit down. You have to come up a little bit further because I took the photo. There you go. Perfect.
Hi, I'm Sarah Marcio. I am the preschool special education teacher. I'm Debbie Highland. I'm the preschool general education teacher. And in preschool, we have a fully inclusive program. What that means is we have students that have identified delays, and we have our peer students, which are typically developing, all in the same classroom together. Right now, we have about 105 3 to 5 year olds, and about 50% of those are attending preschool on an IEP for special education services and intervention. And we get the privilege of providing lots of learning opportunities through sensory rich activities and intentionally designed things that look like play to our little kiddos. And we really love getting to spend the time in developing relationships and working on our social skills and our academic skills, our self-help skills, our motor skills. And so we really get to enjoy the best of the littles and foster their learning to get them ready to go on to bigger and better things.
And we love to play to learn. All of our play is very intentional. It's all based on the early learning standards. We really take a lot of time and care to design what we're doing so that we can grow these kids' experience as much as possible. We love to try to invite the families in through pictures on Dojo, through different family enrichment nights. And we really try to invite them into the Cougar family right first thing in preschool because it's a really cool place to be. Some of the things we love to do in preschool, we have thematic units. So we do dinosaur digs in the sandbox. We have a teddy bear clinic where the kids are the doctors to their teddy bears. We bring fire trucks and community helpers in so the kids can actually experience these things that they usually only see in books. And we love what we do. We're really lucky to be a territorial. We're really lucky to have our amazing principal. And we're really lucky to be able to work with all of these kids in the district. Do you guys have any questions for us about
I
preschool?
do have a comment. I watched you guys last year, as you know, with all the different little kids and their different personalities. It was so impressive to see how you could navigate them to get the best possible behavior
Thank you.
that you needed for the kids. At least I love what you guys do.
Thank you so much.
Well, we all know that tonight. And I love, my mornings are better when I get to take him to school
Thank
because
you.
the love that you feel at Territorial is, it's unreal. And you guys approach these kids by their names. I mean, thank goodness for the stop sign person because my kids like it really good. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
I wanted to commend you for that. I was a preschool teacher for many years. So teaching the parents that they learn through play, there's so many social skills and, learning things through play because they're using their hands.
Absolutely.
So I, commend you for that. because
Thank you.
Sometimes the parents will say, oh, they're just playing. They're not learning. Well, yes, they are.
Mhm.
Tell them all the things they're learning through that play.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Debbie,
Thank
can you tell the board how long you've been working at Chino?
Yes, I have been, this is my 19th year teaching here at Chino. I did 9 of those in kindergarten, and then came back after my son was old enough to come to preschool, and have had 10 in preschool. And I'm actually a surviving senior Chino Cougar myself.
So what year did you graduate?
Right with your daughter.
Stacy.
Yes. Yes.
Now she's a good one.
Yes.
See, that's Chino.
And it has nothing to do with it, but I got to see Miss Debbie's daughter
Yes,
dancing
and
in
so
the
the
Nutcracker
Nutcracker.
days.
Mhm. Yeah, it was amazing. She did so good.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so
for what
much.
do.
I appreciate your time.
Somebody's gonna come up and introduce kindergarten. They're all in character, so.
Super teacher is here. Is anyone in need of refreshing sharpened pencil?
Always.
I have more because the super teacher is always prepared for her job. Also, if you need anything cut, I don't know. But watch, when I cut, I hold the scissors away from me. And I get a nice straight line. Do I leave the paper on the floor?
No.
Never. I always pick up my trash. If I need to write on the board, I can write, take off my cap, and I always put the lid on the other side. Make sure. When I'm done, I put the lid back on and I listen for the click. So I know that it will not dry out. You need anything glued? You call for me. If you need me, I'm like Batman. My sign is the apple. You flash an apple and I will be there in a flash, but I never run in the halls. I always walk very safely. Safety first. So if you need a super teacher, you call for me. Miss Tembridge is at home, and so when she's not there, I come in to fill in for her. It's like Clark Kent and Superman, Miss Tembridge, super teacher. So in kindergarten, we do really fun things, and one of our fun things at the end of the year is alphabet countdown, and that one of the days is S, and it's superhero. So I've been coming as super teacher for quite a few years now. But I would like the rest of my team to come up and we'll talk about the fun days that we do.
Wait for me.
And, oh, wait, the super teacher will help this old woman.
You're good, okay.
Lean on me. So in August, we do a chicka boom boom day. We all dress as trees and we do all kinds of fun alphabet activities. And this is Mrs. Somerville. Would you like to add anything to our chicka boom boom
Also, it's
day?
a great first introduction to a hands-on science with coconut exploratory, so they always enjoy that too.
In September, we learn about Johnny Appleseed Day. We all dress up like Johnny Appleseed. We make satchels for the kids. They write apple facts on some apple seeds and put them in their little satchels. They dress up like Johnny Appleseed and they really, really love it. Would you like to add anything? This is Mrs. Judah.
So normally known as Jill Judah, but today Johnny Appleseed. We do a multi-subject approach. A says A for apple. We talk about citizenship and how we went around and the geography of spreading the seeds throughout the country. We talk about science and we do hands-on, not only the parts of the apple, which we cut open and talk about how many of them have a star inside one of our shapes. We also talk about, does it float or does it sink? And we do a prediction. We spend time talking about our colors. We make art. And of course, we do math and some counting.
At Christmas time, we do a whole lot of fun Christmas Day. We just did the gingerbread man, and luckily we caught the guy, but he runs away from us all the time, and he's always in the tree, and thank goodness for Mrs. Fox, because she climbs up the tree and gets the gingerbread man down. But one of these days, she's probably gonna have to call for super teacher because she's gonna fall. So we do gingerbread day. Tomorrow is Grinch Day. We're doing a Christmas sing-along program. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, Cheryl. This is Mrs. Martin.
As Super Teacher said, we do so many fun activities. We had our gingerbread day last week and Miss Cox helped us find the gingerbread man. She did end up hanging upside down from a tree, and it is no lie, we will need Super Teacher one year. We will have Grinch Day tomorrow, and the Grinch hides our Christmas trees, and we just do a lot of different activities for that. We have Reindeer Day coming up where we will be making reindeer food and talking about reindeer. So we're getting some science social studies in there. Then we turn them into reindeers, making antlers. We have our Polar Express Day. So we get to do some of those activities. So it's just a lot of fun group activities. We have so many math, language, arts activities surrounding the different theme for the day. And the kids get in character too, just to work on some group activities with them as well. And our sing-along, I was gonna say the culmination with that is our holiday sing-along. So that will be on the 17th. And they will sing their little hearts out for their families.
And then usually at the end of February, beginning of March, depending on when the 100th day is, we all dress up like 100-day-old ladies and the kids too.
100-year-old.
Just like to add anything. And can you hear me?
I forgot.
Can you hear me?
And my cane and my back hurts so bad right now.
Lots of things that have to do with 100 that day. All kinds of fun.
Prepared like stuff like 1 to 100 counting. We let the kiddos write words 1 to 100 words, and then also we make crowns. If you were going to have $100, what would you do about that? So fun stuff like that when it's 100th day. It's so much fun. They love it.
So we really like to try to make it fun and make the kids want to come to school. That is our #1 goal. And I feel really happy to work with the team that is willing to do all the fun. You all are participating.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any questions?
Just making learning fun.
Yes, that's what you want to do. Actually learn more.
You should see the thing of just specific day clothes we each have in
Oh,
our
yeah.
house somewhere.
My husband's like, what tree day is it today?
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Where's your outfit?
Yeah. Try and follow
I know, they're
that.
like, how do we follow this? Hi, I'm Maddie Pennell, first grade teacher.
Heather Duenas, first grade teacher.
Donna Dominguez, second grade teacher.
Carrie Ott, second grade teacher.
Take it away, Mrs. Duenas.
Okay, so first grade, I could explain as we kind of have a big job of building off of basic social skills and basic learning they start with in kinder and getting them to be ready for big second grade. So in my opinion, I think it's one of the hardest grades to teach because you cover a lot of ground and you kind of have to ruin their idea of, it's not free play and all that. You kind of have to really bear down and, push them along to get them where they go. And I think that our team does a really great job of doing that and still keeping it fun, but in a little bit more responsible way. I don't know. Higher. Yeah, we just do it differently. So obviously we build on the phonics, math, those social skills, because they just need to still keep growing on those. And we do this by using our U-Fly Phonics program that we've all been doing, and we really hit math facts to try and help them out because the amount of things they're required to do each year just kind of raises up and up and up. So that's kind of our academic side of it, and she's gonna talk about the funner part.
Yeah, I would say listening to kindergarten share, I think that we get to kind of share in a lot of the celebrations with them. We like to build on the learning that they've created, kind of revisit a lot of those like life cycle things and the plant parts. In the spring, first grade has an opportunity to kind of mix our science learning by going on a field trip to the Heritage Park Zoo in Prescott. And we get to take all of our science learning about ecosystems and animals. And then we kind of get to focus it on our region here and the animals that live here. And the kids absolutely love that field trip. Every parent that volunteers every year says it's the best day of the year. So they have a lot of fun. They have a lot of cool animals at Heritage. I feel like with the holidays right now, there's a lot of Christmas wonder at Territorial. So just always learning, but in a way that makes it fun, making the kids want to be there every day. Someone had mentioned earlier, like you just feel the love at Territorial. I feel like the kids see it too. They come running in every morning, smiles on their faces. They love learning. They love being there. And so it's really cool. I do feel like we push our first graders really hard. We really up the ante, but they rise to the challenge every year. Those kids, like they love it. They love to be there and they love learning. So it's a privilege being able to teach them.
And on that, so second grade, we have to up the ante too to get them ready for third grade. So it's not as hard of a teaching gap as first grade because we don't teach a whole lot of new things except for that social skills of, ooh, jump to third grade, right? But we do the U-Fly as well. And Carrie's gonna talk
Okay, I just
about
want to highlight
that.
three things. I think 3 things. One, we just went to the Highland Center with them, so it was like an outdoor learning experience, and they got to do erosion through water and through wind and hands-on activities, and it was really, really cool. We're getting ready for our holidays around the world, where each of us takes a holiday, and the kids get a passport. They go to different classrooms. Country, sorry. Yeah, and they do the customs and things like that, and they get to do a craft. Some of them get to experience a little bit of food from each country, which is super fun. And the other one is A.R. So we are pushing A.R. this year. We all got thermometers outside of our doors, and the goal was every classroom to get 1 million words by the end of the year. 3 of us are already there.
I'm almost there.
I think all the rest of us are maybe even higher. So that was like a huge thing for the kids, and they're super excited to take them and tell you how many words that they have when they look at their goals, that they've already surpassed their goal for this semester.
Another thing I want to add is last year my baby was Balloons Over Broadway.
Oh, yeah.
So we teach the kids about the Balloons Over Broadway parade, and then each second grade class gets to create balloons, and then Brandy lets us do a parade around the hallway. So we get to show our balloons to the littler kids, and that's super fun.
These are the two helping you guys get to your 1 million words. And these are our top 2 readers right now.
Yes.
Josie, how many words do you have?
I don't know.
700,000.
She's getting to 1 million for sure. And William, how many do you have?
We have 600,000, 47, 523.
Sorry, I just had to break that.
So yeah.
Any questions for all of them?
We just appreciate all you guys do and all the love for your students. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna tell you, I always go to the $1 Million Challenge dinner every year, and I'm always amazed how much these kids, these little ones read. It just blesses my heart, so. Yeah. Thank you.
So as you can see, I have the best job ever. I get to work with all those amazing people and students. We're always working on inspiring the kids to do their very best to reach the next potential. And I just feel truly blessed to get to work at Territorial with all of them. So, any questions for me? You got to hear a lot from them. And I know it's timing and I'm probably way over, sorry.
We are truly blessed to have you.
Very much.
Thank you. Thank you,
I
thank you.
really enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you.
I think I'm going to take just a quick 45-second, 1-minute break. Let the families that do not wish to stay go ahead and leave before we
Staff.
go
And
for
staff.
it.
And a huge thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. So sorry, sweetheart. I'll see you guys in the morning.
And I was like, thank you. My God, you're, yeah, you know.
All right, then, moving right along, Miss Daniels, it's still you.
Okay, hard act to follow.
I know, right?
So we had, in your packet are all the goals from the different departments and from the schools. One of the big things that I wanted to point out is I was working through and reviewing their goals as they came rolling in this time, is that pretty much everybody has their benchmarks scheduled for this week or next. And so at our January meeting, you'll hear you'll read in their goals and how they're doing on their academic progress. So that'll be a biggie. I did want to point out though that Heritage had included a lot of good things in their report all the things they're doing, working with Department of Ed to improve their school letter grade, improve learning in their campus. Caitlin also had submitted a report about discipline referral and discipline incidences and the dramatic decline that we've had this year at HMS. And so I really wanted to point out from all of the reports that I received, Heritage's genuinely was very, very impressive with everything that they're doing and how they're coming along. Also included in your packet are those current enrollment numbers. And we have actual bodies, 2,098 students. As you know, that is a little over what our average daily membership is because kindergarten and preschool students are only half a body as far as Department of Ed is concerned with funding. We don't receive full funding for all-day kindergarten. The district offers all-day kindergarten for free because we believe, and you can see the value in what kindergarten provides, but it does cost us over $500,000 a year that the state does not fund just to run full-day kindergarten. I also wanted to point out in your packet the status of our grade level capacities. Those are posted each month on our website as required by law, and it says which classes, like grade levels, and which programs are open for enrollment from outside the district. And you set the capacities earlier in the school year, and so the report on the capacities is in there. And then I wanted to give a really big thank you to member Granillo. She was able to come and serve Thanksgiving dinner at every campus this year. And so she got the joy of serving turkey 4 days in a row. And I think had a good time. What were some of your takeaways from that?
Everybody had such a wonderful passion for the kids, all the volunteers, all the kids, all the families. It just was a really great experience. Our cafeteria workers are wonderful. So I just.
And Amy just came in from Sodexo, who runs Sodexo, and major kudos to about the quality of the food, Miss Amy.
Yes, it was
And
wonderful.
we served over 3,400 meals.
Oh my goodness.
It was wonderful.
Exactly. So I did want to talk about that. We have this week on Thursday evening, I believe, is the band concert at 6:30, right? You have in your packet a list of all the events that are coming up between now and the next board meeting. And we have like the wrestling at the Finley Event Center in PV over Christmas break. But I did want to invite you to the band concerts in the high school gymnasium, and it's middle school and high school bands. We sponsor Community Youth League basketball, and registration's been ongoing for that. We have electronic registration, an electronic system of pay, and it has worked phenomenal. It's been very, very smooth. And they begin their practices and games in January. That runs in January and February at both Del Rio and Heritage. And they're on Saturdays. And Athletic Director Clark from the high school will be running one site, and Catherine Metz from the high school will be running the other. So they do that. We have one last coffee with the superintendent opportunity this semester, and it is Thursday morning at 7 at CVHS. Even though we're outside, facilities brings patio heaters. So if you want to join us, we have that this Thursday at 7 o'clock. We also are, I want to talk a little bit about our employee of the quarter is tomorrow. I'm not going to do what I did last quarter and say the names the night before. But we have Donna from JEDS sponsors a lunch for each of our certified and classified employees of the quarter. And we have one at each campus and a district level employee of the quarter. So they get a cupcake, they get a certificate for a free meal. Tomorrow they'll be getting a winter beanie from the foundation with our district logo on it and a water bottle sticker. And our district employee of the quarter is Cheyenne. Really hard. I had to I texted her I emailed her 2 in the morning last week. I'm like, sorry to wreck the surprise, but surprise, it's you. So, and then last step, Chris Sheriff's wife, Christina, is our family resource specialist. And she is in the middle of the busiest week of her whole year. She has been working with a lot of outside partnerships, business, community members, individuals, families to adopt children for Christmas who attend our schools and wouldn't have a Christmas celebration without it. And in a partnership with Chino Valley Education Foundation, we have somewhere between 225 and 250 kids who will be receiving Christmas gifts. Also, in partnership with the Education Foundation and a civil engineering firm called Kimley Horn, the foundation received a $20,000 grant from Kimley Horn National Foundation in North Carolina. And their engineers are coming on Friday afternoon to pack Christmas meal kits for 75 families, so a complete meal kit, and Nothing Bundt Cakes in PV is paying for is providing 50 of the desserts. The foundation's picking up the other 25. So that's about a $1,500 expense that Nothing Bundt Cakes is picking up to help out with that. This Saturday is the food collection and redistribution, the pantry that we have every other month. If you'd like to volunteer, we start sorting food at 8:30 in the morning. The pantry opens at 11. We will probably collect and redistribute about 7,000 pounds of food on Saturday morning. So far, the foundation's done over 250,000 pounds of food to families, and it usually takes less than 30 minutes for all the food to be gone. So a local bimbo distributor provides the bread. And then last, also in partnership with the foundation, the district office staff on Thursday morning will be packing the 150 bags of hope for our homeless high school students. And we have individuals, businesses, Bible study groups, women's organizations who have adopted individual items for the bags. All the bags have same menu. The kids get 2 bags overflowing with groceries to help get them through the 2-week Christmas break. And those are all packed by the volunteers here at the DO. And starting a week from tomorrow, the high school kids who are eligible they get a little letter explaining it. They get a ticket and they come down here to pick up their bags. So they have fixings for 10 beef burritos in there. They have like tuna helper with canned chicken instead of tuna. They have also they have hygiene kits. They have deodorant. They have a fun gift. We have a local member toothbrush and toothpaste. Thank you, John moved all those for us today. We have a local gentleman here in the ag industry who donates 150 $15 gift cards to like Taco Bell, so the kids can have something fun if they want as well. So volunteers will be packing those. So this is a big month for the foundation and the school district's partnership to provide meals and gifts and hope for our families, because as you heard from Territorial, when kids want to come to school, then they come ready and excited to learn, and hope for your future is a good reason to come to school. So those are some of the things that we have going this month. It's never slow. I can tell you that. So do you have any questions about any of the goals that you saw? You have everybody in the room just about who can answer questions for you, or any questions about the foundation partnerships.
Moving on to item number 6B. Leah's here.
Oh, thank you. I didn't see her come in. Thank you. Student council report. Thank you. I didn't see her come in. Thanks, Heidi.
Yeah, sorry, I had to come.
We're not trying to ignore you.
Yeah. And you're kind of sparkly, so you're.
Yeah,
hard to
there's a
miss.
basketball game, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just gonna give a quick little update on kind of what's been happening at the school. So this week, we're actually celebrating our Winter Spirit Week, which is put on by our National Honor Society at the high school. So we have some festive spirit days this week, and Friday is the Polar Express Winter Dance. Our National Art Honor Society members have also been adding a creative touch to our campus by painting holiday windows.
So teachers donate money and we go around and paint their windows with whatever holiday thing they want. Our senior class has also been signing up for the senior trip to Disneyland, which is a park hopper ticket. We currently have 65 seniors signed up to do that. We also have launched Adopt a Senior program, which allows community members to contribute to the cost of the trip for students who may need financial assistance. Coming up, we also have our first ever hoop coming event, which is the same as homecoming, but is dedicated to celebrating basketball rather than football. The Spear Week for hoop coming so far is anything but sneakers, iconic squad, dress like your type, and Adam Sandler Day. The basketball game will take place on that Friday night and then the dance that Saturday. And it will take place the week after we get back from break, which is January 5th to the 11th. We also have our blood drive coming up in January on January 27th, so we'll start advertising for that soon. Do you have any questions?
How does one adopt a senior?
I am not completely sure on how that works. I think they just make a donation
The tax
to.
credit, they'll be tax credit donation eligible. And so you can just designate your tax credit to adopt a senior.
And how much does it cost for a Disneyland trip?
300. Yeah, 300.
300.
And that includes charter bus and tickets to Disneyland and California Adventure Park.
So is there any seniors that didn't sign up because they knew they would have some money?
I'm sure there probably are some,
Yes.
but I don't know who those
And when is the deadline?
This Thursday.
It would be the end of the month. We have to let the charter company know how many buses we're going to need. And so we have a list is those 65, 66 students. We asked them in a survey if they would need help. And some of those students of that 65 have asked for help. They would like to attend, but they do need financial assistance.
So Julie, to clarify, about 40% of your senior classes expressed an interest in going. And then from that 40%, some of
From that, I have about, I would say, oh goodness, I would say there's probably 12 that have asked for assistance.
And I know in the past, Member Hilborn especially has asked, why are the senior trip numbers so low? Because in the past it was, like lots of kids went and, we have wondered aloud if it's cost barrier or what it is. And with their survey, they determined that about 40% of the class is interested in going at all. And then from that, who needs help, so.
In the past, we've had problems with transportation and cutting it off. And one thing that we've really expressed with student council, and they've worked really good, doing a great job, is I do not want to have a limit on how many we can take. So every student has been invited and every senior has been asked to complete the survey.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that. That makes me feel.
Okay, so we want to make sure we have enough charter buses to hold everyone, plus they have to have room for me. So.
I'm always down. You say, let me know. I'll even go with the teenagers.
So, yeah.
Careful, you see.
So anyway, yeah, so that's, doing the survey, I think really helped. And hopefully we'll have higher numbers.
Perfect. All right, thank you,
Well,
Leah.
thank you.
Sorry
Have
we
a good
ignored you.
holiday break.
Thanks, Leah.
Thank you, Leah.
All right. Now, Mr. Livingston.
Back to you.
All right. President Thomas, members of the board, Superintendent Daniels, Assistant Superintendent Wolf, administration and staff. A quick look at the financial situation of the district as of the end of November. And if you start, there's a 6-page report in your packets. I'll just start with page 1 and hit a few highlights. The budget that you see for the operating fund, the 19.2 million, we have great hopes that we're going to get that up from 19.2 to 19.4, perhaps a little higher. I've been rewriting annual financial reports and trying to bring some capacity forward from here and there the last 3 years. If that goes higher, that's really good news. We know we spent 8.2 million. We know our budget's gonna come in ballpark 19,500,000. We won't know that final number for this year's operating budget until the 100th day, which is ballpark February 27th in there. You see that at this point, the projecting ending balance is a slight negative, the negative 688,000, 3.58%. Again, we have great hopes that that'll be at least 100,000 carried forward unspent this year. That's the way that works. If our budget's an even 19 million, we spent 18 million, that fund unspent amount, that $1 million goes right into the next year. And it'd be nice to say that we could, I always say this, lock that away and say it's restricted. We can't do that. We push all that available. If we were really, I guess, confident we could do that, we would do that. Some districts do that. They say you have a budget of 19 million, we only get to spend 18, and then it's called restricted or already reserved and it's not available. So if we have expenditures that go over the 18, if that's our goal, then they have to come from another fund. We've never done that. That might be something to consider. I did back in, a month ago, when we looked at our annual financial report, the month of October, I think we did that about the 13th of October, the board approved that. It asked us how much as a percentage of our operating budget was our goal to not spend. Last year, we dropped that from 4% last year down to 1%. We didn't quite make the 4%. It's unrealistic to keep it at 4% with things the way they are, with our student count going down. So we just have a policy, I believe it's in our manual now, 1%. That's not a great goal. It's not a great way to live. If you have a $100 budget, you better not spend more than 96, so you have at least 4 for the next year. But with things the way they are, it's quite unreasonable to think we have 190,000 or more. Even the 1% is going to be difficult this year. It's just a very, very tight situation. Capital, a little healthier, 883,000 in the budget, spent almost 200,000, unexpended 684, but encumbrances about 370, leaves us about 316,000 or 35% uncalled for, unspent, and unencumbered. Adjacent ways I've talked about a couple times on page 1 there. We know the 584,000 expenditure was already spent on last July's projects around the district. So we are going to raise another 500,000 there this year with another levy, and we don't have those projects awarded yet to a company, but they're going to be coming in the next couple months. We're going to look at some more projects. So we don't just bankroll those funds. In fact, we talked the other day with the core construction that might be building, and hopefully in the next 6 to 8 months, starting construction on the new buildings over here. That fund is eligible for a fire lane. We said, no, please don't raid our fund for a fire lane. Please get that from the State School Facilities Board yourself, part of the new construction. Otherwise, our fund would be a tight spot. Any questions on our cover page then with our situation? Move to page 2. I'd like to continue with where we left off just a minute ago with our 3:30 meeting and look at some of these cash funds. So page 2 is a portrait. It's got about 35 different funds on it. And these are protected by the county. They're designated for special revenue and restricted expenditures. So we can't just budget X amount and then spend. Those 3 funds we just talked about, we can budget 19 million. And if our fund is approved at that level from the state, we can spend that amount, even though cash at any given time might not be very high. We can go in the red of those 3 funds because there's property taxes and in some cases state money behind. There's no property taxes or state money behind these funds. So just to take a quick look, 022 and 024. There's no beginning balance because we spent it all last year. There's no revenue except a little bit of interest, the $220, and there's no expenditure. By the end of June of 2026, we'll have about 80,000 received from the state. That's a percentage of gaming money that's collected by casinos in the state. So each of those will have revenue of about 80,000, expenditures of about 8,000, and ending budget balance will go back down to 0. But we can't spend anything there now. We move teacher costs and we move instructional coaches into those funds. So that's a classic cash short fund. M&O pays those people salaries for instructional coaches and some class size reduction teachers. Instead of having 25 students in a class, and then we get 3 more students, and we add a new teacher. We can't do that in our operating fund, but with these funds, we could add that fifth or sixth teacher and use these funds for that purpose. So we keep those people that have been identified paid, but we don't pay them out of this fund. That's why you see no expenses. Going down to 521, we talked about that a little bit. That's our preschool tuition fund. We started with 8,700. We've added 35,000 in tuition revenue. We spent nothing because there's employees in there, and we don't want to take a chance that we'll bounce a payroll. We just pay those costs out of M&O, and as the revenues flow in, we will make journal entries to move those costs at the end of the year into this fund, and then that gives those items on page 1 that we talked about during the planning meeting in those cash short funds. That's how they work. We don't take anything out of them as they go along. We wait till all the funds are collected. And thank you, Million Word Challenge folks. I believe Fund 536 on that page is funded completely by the Ed Foundation. So last year we spent over $4,000. You look at the beginning cash there, $1,181, revenue $20. They will see this. They will somehow get the money together. They're amazing folks. They're raising funds. That's Fund 536. Then you take a look at Fund 691 and you say, well, what's going on with Fund 691? You've only spent $647,000. Exactly what your revenue was, $647,000. So then if you take a quick look back here at the last page, and then let's just about wrap up the presentation here. The very last page is page 3, and it's the cash report. If you look at page 3 in the cash report, hopefully you can buzz down to it. You see Fund 691 has a cash balance of $797,000 unspent. The way that works is we got the revenue the 21st of November. I did this report Saturday, the 29th of November. We wrote a check for $797,000 the 3rd of December, which was a Wednesday. So for 2 minutes or 2 days, that extra $797,000 was sitting in that fund. And once it cleared, now it's the December expense. So we have to collect the revenue. Once we put in a claim for these contractors that are working, it usually takes about 3 weeks to get it funded, sometimes 4 weeks. It takes a week and a half to clear the county treasurer. So in the meantime, we're showing a nice fund balance. You say, well, why would we have a fund balance? Well, because we have a written check. Every Wednesday, we crank those checks. So that's kind of a cash short fund as well. If we get behind on the state, sometimes takes 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 months. Those of you that were on the board in July of 2023, I believe, when we had Millennium gas pipeline here. And the high school pipeline cost for replacing gas over $2.5 million. We never had money in the fund, so we had to pre-fund it from other funds and then pay it back when the state got it. Sometimes the state was 5 months behind. But they funded it in 2 days. Once they knew of the problem at Del Rio and at the high school, the state funded it. It just took a while to get all the cash. So we funded it out of M&O. So that's all I really had for the month of November. I spent $8 million on a budget of around 19, about 43% of the budget spent. We hope to take the budget up higher, which gives us at least a $0 or maybe $100,000 carryover for next year. And we hope with things that we discussed, we can move within a smaller budget. That's all I have.
All right. Any questions or comments for Mr. Lester?
No.
All right.
Thank you for all your deals. I know you're scratching your head.
Item 6B is the student financial reports or the.
Yes, student activity. And this fund is kept in a separate bank account. We could keep it in our general ledger and show you the cash activity in the fund, but we keep it in a special bank account. So when students need a check on a Monday or a Tuesday, they can have it right then. It's their money. They raise it. And I was going through this and I was going to have some really high praise. I still do for Del Rio Student Council that raised year to date $2,259 and High School Archery Club $1,940. And I thought, those are the top fundraisers for the year. But no, I needed to go to page 2. And Mile High Wrestling has raised $7,485 and High School Student Council has raised $6,600. But still, way to go, Del Rio Archery Club for the high school. So those funds are really tightly managed, and everyone has an advisor. I guess you could say some have several adults, and they're supervised student activities, and they get to spend the money on things that the students get. So we can't use those funds to pay for staff salaries or pay for things the students don't directly benefit from. So thank you, community, for supporting those because they come around and do fundraisers very frequently, and that's all I have for student activity.
Thank you. Any other questions on that one? Okay, moving on to our consent agenda. We're looking for a motion to approve items A through D on tonight's consent.
I'll make a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda, items A through D.
I'll second. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 7D is our personnel report. Let me see, I'm not wrong. I'm wrong. I'm still on consent agenda. I love the computers. Thank you, Larry. I'm there now. Item 8A is our personnel
Yes.
report, Ms. Wolf.
Madam President, board members, Ms. Daniels, we have on our December personnel report, we have 1 new classified employee, 2 new classified subs, 2 terminations, 3 retirements, 7 resignations, 4 classified changes, 2 certified changes, 3 coaches, and 114 timesheets, and a partridge in a pear tree. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
I actually do have a question. Termination due to inactivity, what does that?
That we have classified subs that do not respond to us and asking if they're coming back
Oh,
the
okay.
next year. And so at a certain point, we just go
Let it
ahead.
go.
Let them
Okay.
go, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was
Great
my-
question.
That was my question.
Yeah.
What if you resignation?
And what about this retirement number 14?
Yeah, I don't approve that.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I know number 14 really appreciates it, but you know, it's time, but I won't be gone.
Well, guess what? There's another person in this room that chose to retire and she's back.
Very well. How'd that work for you? Any other questions? Comments?
About number
14 outside, right?
What I'd like to do is possibly make a motion on number 13, that we can take that out of this next, so we can take that into executive session.
We won't be able to discuss her because it has not been given a 24-hour notice.
I cannot approve this like it's written, we will vote no,
We can vote no. That's completely fine.
because, I think we need to talk about something, probably we don't want to discuss here in front of everybody.
Which we can't, so. All right, is there a different motion?
Wait, I have a question about that.
Mhm.
I thought that was one of the reasons we were going into executive session.
No, when I asked for clarification on the executive session, I was told specifically that it was not personnel related. So the executive session has nothing to do with any personnel.
So if we vote no on this, because if we vote yes, a yes vote is going to say that we approve of everything. Okay.
Yes, and there needs 3 of us to approve the personnel report.
Okay, so I think that there was some actions taken regarding number 13. Without any confidentiality or anything that was inappropriate.
Ms. Daniels, can you help with?
We can't pull that out and approve the rest of the personnel report. What happened?
We can, but we can't, then this number will be in limbo for the next month until we can get it on another agenda to discuss it.
I think the whole purpose of all of my discussion was to discuss that very thing.
Then when
and
asked
the
if it was
financial
going to be personnel,
responsibility.
probably should have been stated, yes,
But it
this
has
is
nothing
personnel
to do with
related.
that. This has to do with the other things that happen in order
But
to
really, it's
financially.
personnel, it really is personnel related. And so I.
So by voting this in, they were saying that the way it was handled is perfectly okay.
We either accept the resignation or we don't, I think is what the item is.
The problem I have is, not the resignation, how it went about to happen.
And approving this would only be about accepting the resignation.
Nothing else, nothing
Yes.
else that's attached to that.
No, I believe it does have to do in looking at some of the paperwork and statutes. If we accept that, then we accept the conditions that go along with it.
Is that true?
If we accept the resignation, we accept everything that goes along with it. I personally would like a little bit more discussion amongst the board.
We can't. Cindy's been super clear about that. When she asked for clarification about whether we were going to be discussing a personnel issue in executive session, the answer was no. And because it was no, it cannot be discussed as a personnel issue because the individual was not given notice under Title 38 of Arizona statutes.
What if they were given, so what if they were given notification? Right, does that mean like, no, we can't talk about it at all? We can't ask. for
Can't talk about the individual at all.
We're not talking about that. What I'm concerned about is the way that we went about this resignation, what happened without the board's consensus or directive.
I think we're getting into some pretty dangerous waters
I
here
agree.
to talk about
I would
things
wait
that
until our
executive
attorney
session
is
has been
available.
requested for. And so I think that we're coming very, very close to violating executive session laws.
Okay, then can I motion that we table this until next month until we can have that discussion?
The entire personnel report?
That would be,
Yeah.
that would be the
Except that
entire,
it's written.
that would be the entire personnel report.
You know what? I'm allowed to make motions. I make a motion to approve tonight's personnel report. And
I will second it.
and I'll agree. All in favor?
Let's take a
Those
roll call
opposed?
vote.
Yes, please.
I guess I'm just kind of confused. to be
And that's
completely
okay.
honest with
That's
you.
completely
And
okay.
I just want to make sure that we're doing the right thing. And
I think accepting the resignation is the right thing. We can discuss the whys and hows in executive session. And can you take a roll call vote, please?
Andrew? How do you vote
On
to
the motion to accept.
approve the personnel report?
I,
Marcia?
I,
Cindy?
Aye.
and I'm not, I don't want to.
Is that a no or an
That's a no.
abstain?
No.
Yeah, mine is a no.
Beverly?
3, 4, 2 against. Motion passes. Thank you.
Right, my next request is, from Dr. Burdette. She wasn't able to be here this evening. But we are requesting a 50-cent increase per hour for our EDP paraprofessionals. And we believe that the need for this increase stems from the exceptionally intensive nature of these classrooms that require staff with specialized training to manage an environment marked by significant student emotional dysregulation. So it's demanding work, high frequency of specialized behavioral techniques, and the potential for physical restraining. So we're just asking for a 50-cent increase to promote our staff retention and reduce turnover within our paraprofessionals in that area.
Great.
Yeah.
I don't know how come.
This is an
Motions,
action
yeah.
item.
I'll make a motion to approve the increase EDP for paraprofessional hourly rate by 50 cents per hour. I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you. 11A, first reading of trust policies, chapter 3.
Marty?
Yes, you get to present.
Oh, presenting. So we are, I guess I gotta get up. Hello, board. We are ready to present chapter 3 of the trust policy. We updated it with help from the business office. Thank you. Thank you, John, and everyone involved in that. And it is included for you to review. We are going to meet with Lillian on, I believe it's tomorrow or Wednesday, I can't remember, this week, to discuss chapter 4, to get that rolling as well, so that we can bring that to you no later than, I believe it was February was our time frame, right? Does that sound about right? So we bring you chapter 3 to review. If you have any questions about it, please let me know. has been a pretty, I shouldn't say easy, but it's been a pretty seamless transition so far with Lillian, and they've been doing a great job. And if there's any language or anything that you have any questions about, please let us know.
And I'd like to give a shout out too to Mrs. Wellert, who did all the work on our meeting patterns and everything in regard to school finance and how we generate income. She made sure that everything was accurate, up to date, and consistent with our prior policy manual. And every single person in the business office weighed in on their particular section and provided clarification wording or wording that was consistent with current policy for us. So that 1 to 4% that John was talking about is in here. Things that were localized have been highlighted for you. So, yeah.
This makes it a little easier read because it can be a little dense.
Yeah, and the instructional time model that you see in red is all localized. That's on page one, starts on page 114. And it explains the whole business about how we do school in Chino Valley to meet all of the requirements that school finance has.
All right, well, this is just first reading. Are there any questions before Mr. Kimpatelli steps away?
I do not have any.
All right, seeing none, we will move on to second reading of policies 809 and 908.
Yep, just a reminder that as we continue to roll forward, we have overlapping policies with the trust and Arizona School Boards Association. And ASBA is in the process of doing a major policy manual overhaul for clarification and to reduce redundancy. So everything that you see in tonight's second read, you saw last month in first read, and it just includes perhaps things where we had to like put in the title of somebody who is like a grievance officer or things like that. But that's where we are. It'll keep us current with state law, with our Arizona School Boards Association policies until such time as we make the full transition to the trust policies.
And this is an action item, so.
Just two,
Page 2 of 3.
We've got a lot of pages. Okay, I will make it a motion to approve policy changes as noted in the policy 809 to 908 and 917 to 959.
A second, please.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. All right, with that, I will also entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
Great, let's have a 5-minute break. We can use the restroom and such.
Mr. Livingston, can you open the doors for the restroom back there in case any
I don't know if that was right or not. Don't tell Jim I did that.
Okay. 7:29 PM.
Quorum, if you had the right.
I think you have a quorum.
You're good.
Quorum? You had 3.
You're 3.
You're good.
We're able to make decisions.
Yeah, oh, Cindy, you're good.
I am
We
gonna
need
signature a
signature
signature real
real
quick.
You're good. Inger,
We had a quorum, we adjourned.
Okay, good. You can go home. I can go home. Well, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Inger.
We're adjourned.
Annie.
Or
Yeah, Merry
adjourned. Oh,
Christmas.
okay. Thank you.
Bye, Cindy.
See you, Miss Annie. Merry Christmas.